too bad. They knocked the bead off this wheel and maybe shredded the tube, I don't know. The real damage was over here. I already kind of fixed it last night just so we could get it off the trailer, but ball joint, you can kind of see this is the original part here. This is the actual ball joint. I took this piece of metal here and just welded these together so that we could just get the car off the trailer. So that's it. The rear is finally starting to pack in nicely. Took another shot on this side over here, which is causing everything to go exactly where I want it. So there you go. We're taking the hood off, we're swapping the radiator, and we're swapping the carburetor. So it's gonna take me a minute to get this hood off. After the show, it's all bent up, so all these bolt holes aren't lining up perfectly, so that's gonna take me a minute or so, and so we'll just zoom right through it and see where we land. All right, now that we have the hood off, we'll start getting this radiator removed. Went ahead and ran it last time with a leak, just because the leak didn't seem to be that severe, but it seemed like it started to get worse. So we are going to go ahead and, well, get it out at least, and then may just take a look at it, run some water through it and see where it's leaking. And if the leak isn't too bad, what we may do is just JB weld it. But we'll see. I have another radiator. It's just much bigger, and I don't know. It's that one right there, and though I love to have a bigger radiator, I just don't know if it's gonna fit into the opening here on this Lincoln front core. Gonna fill this thing up and see where it's leaking out of. Somewhere right in here. Hey. definitely got a leak. I don't know exactly where. But doesn't matter. So as I suspected, this one fits fine. This one, we got a problem. Now, I could also use this really nice, bigger, badder GM one that I got. I think it'll fit in here. We're gonna set it in and see. So, this one out. See how this guy fits in here. This is just a big one. Yeah. So it even sits above the core, but I don't know. We're definitely gonna be able to fit up our hoses on this one. Oh yeah, see, so looks like we're gonna have to go with this one unless I want to go and try and find a bunch of new hoses. So and I think the hood, it's just really tight in there. The hood is gonna literally sit smack dab on top of the radiator. I mean, the only thing that I can really do is I could beat down this little piece that it sits on a little bit. Might be a better way to go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Well, it's not the solution that I'm in love with, but it's the solution that I've gone with. So hopefully you guys can see this. So basically welded that. There used to be a hole there with a ball joint coming through. Basically just welded it in solid with a bolt. There's a nut there that's welded that the bottom part of the spindle sits on. A washer welded to the top so it doesn't go any higher. And then under the top ball joint, I'm just gonna weld a castle nut on the bottom. And then this thing is pretty much turning again, as you can see. Now the problem with this solution is, and I don't know if you guys can see it here, oops, I don't know if you guys can see it, but see where the bottom of the disc sits in relation to the lower arm there? Okay, now look at where the bottom sits over here in relation to the lower arm. See that? So that's a good 2 inches of difference. And so what this means is, because of this solution that I've had to go with, this side is going to be higher off the ground than this side. Now, the other tire that I'm going to use here, I believe, is a little bit shorter than the tire that's sitting under there that I'm going to use on this side. So hopefully that'll even it out a little bit. But if it doesn't, this side, this bumper here is gonna dip a little bit compared to this side. The rear end will still be roughly straight, but the car is gonna have a little bit of a lean to it. You know, and these are just the kind of fixes, you know, when you're working in a small shop and you really have limited tools, this is kind of the stuff that you have to go with sometimes. It's more about just making it work than making it work perfect. And so, you know, you saw the range of motion. This thing should steer. Yeah, I mean, the passenger tire is gonna sit a little closer. Well, maybe not. I mean, we'll see. I'll take another video. I'll take another section of video here once I get both the tires on and get it dropped back down. So more to come. So now that we got the car down on its wheels, as you can see, maybe you can, it's definitely leaning. I mean, the camera is level right now, and so you can kind of see it's going up. And we can further illustrate it just by doing this. So, bottom of our bumper here sitting at 20, call it 21 and a half, 22. Bottom of our bumper over here, even if we don't go off the bent part, still sitting at about 23. So yeah, we're looking at an inch and a half off, but top of the bumper is still high enough. And we may also just do a little bit more clearance on the back here. So even though we did more clearance last time, this trunk has pushed in again more, which is what we wanted to do, but we have to create additional clearance as a result, which is no big deal.